श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदातिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सार्गजातं सहगणललिता सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदा सहगणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नित्यानंद अवधूतेन्दु वसुध प्राण वल्लभ जानव जीवित पति कृष्ण प्रेम पद प्रभु पद्मावती सुत श्रीमा सचिनंदन पूर्वजा भावोन्मत्त जगत्राता रक्त गौर कलेवरा। नमो नमो अनिरुद्धाय ऋषिकेशियान्द्रियात्मने नमः परमहंसाय पूर्णाय निवृत्तात्मने स्वर्गापवर्गद्वाराय नित्यं शुचि सदे नमः। नमो हिरण्यवीराय चातुर्होत्राय तांत्रवे। Okay, so what we will be doing now, as I mentioned in my email, we will be maybe next couple of weeks we will be just going on definition of pure devotional service. As I mentioned few weeks back, I wanted to take a break from Bhagavad Gita because we completed the chapter. Now we will start next chapter. That doesn't mean that we are going to stop Bhagavad Gita, but for a few weeks I wanted to cover few specific topics, and then afterwards we will again start Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So you can distribute now while we are talking. So this is the verse we are going to cover. But before that verse, let's discuss that why we need to understand the definition of devotion. So can anybody say why we need to understand? Maybe I will help so that everybody will push. Or Mataji, you want to say? Right. So whatever path we are taking, we want to take it correctly. We don't want to do any anarthas. Correct. So it is important to know the definition of devotion. Now Prabhupada has actually defined devotion as a science. If you see Bhakti Rasamrut Sindhu or Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada has written here the complete science of Bhakti Yoga. So Prabhupada has mentioned this is a science. So this science we need to understand. We need to completely know the definition. Right? Usually what happens, there is a lot of confusion out there. If you go out and you say, oh, okay, we are doing devotional service. They will say, oh, we are also doing bhakti. We are also doing devotions. We are doing this, we are doing that. So a lot of confusion is there. Most of people are not aware what is real devotion. Right? Most of them not aware what is pure devotional service. So that is what we will try to do here. We'll try to understand. So why we need to understand this? This is very important science. Right? As you see, when people out there was so much confusion that most of our colleagues or our friends, if you see even our, family members, you talk, they will say, oh, we also do puja part, we also do this, but is it really devotional service? Right? Many times we also talk, we also deal in such a way that, oh, sab kuch chalta hai. This is also okay, oh, this is also I am doing for temple, this is okay. But Prabhupada has actually removed all this misunderstanding through his books. He clearly, specifically mentioned what is devotion. His books, if you see, he has clearly mentioned what is this science, why we should do it. So that is what we will understand. There are many people out there, they may not agree with Prabhupada. But there is nobody who can say that, oh, Prabhupada's books are not clear. Because his books are very crystal clear. He gives no opportunity to actually, show the gap or to give a misunderstanding. Right? It clearly defines everything.
We asked him how you got it, telling that you spread it from Lebanon and send it to US to check what is going to do. So he came to take him off.
Okay.
He was able to defeat him. So he said that, okay, I will read Prabhupada's book, the book he's reading, and try to find out the fault. The situation was so that he started reading the book and he got into Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, he got initiated, right, with Ram Nam Prabhu. Lebanon. So one good example, real example we saw Prabhupada's books clearly mentioned. So he has not left anything for speculate. Right? That is what clear. And as he mentioned, this is science and very important science. We can understand, it is very easy to understand. Right? And this is the most important thing we need to understand. And this particular verse, the verse you are seeing, is actually defining what is bhakti. This is precisely will tell us what is bhakti. Did we hear this verse before, or this is the first time? Who is hearing this first time? Okay, we have few devotees. So what we'll do, okay, so before that, how this came, right, this verse. If you see on the top, you see Madhya 19.167. So Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 19.167. So Mahaprabhu actually gave this teaching to who can tell? Rupa Goswami. So Rupa Goswami is one of the Goswami, Vrindavan 7 Goswamis, one of the main Goswamis, and we are also called Rupanugas because we are followers of his teachings. Right? So in Prayag, when he met Mahaprabhu, that time several days Mahaprabhu gave teachings. For days he discussed and he told very intricate subject or very intricate information related to bhakti. And then afterwards Rupa Goswami wrote lot of scriptures and amazing books. Bhakti Rasamrut Sindhu, one of his prime book, which Prabhupada has translated as Nectar of Devotion. Right? So this book also amazing if you read Nectar of Devotion. And in this book, the initial part of this book is this verse. This verse is called as a Paribhasha Sutra of Bhakti Rasamrut Sindhu. What is Paribhasha Sutra? Essence. Essence of the whole book is this verse. Right? Very important verse. This is the verse actually which gives definition of pure bhakti. Such that it is like a candle. With that definition, you can connect to different activities what we do, and we can see, yes, it is bhakti or it is not bhakti. Should I do? Should I don't do? Right? So let's repeat after me. So we'll do with Vedic style or Srimad Bhagavatam what we do, right? I will say once and then you will repeat after that. Yeah. Anyabhilashita shunyam Jnana karmadi anavritam Anukulena Krishnanu शीलनं भक्तिरुत्तमा
शीलनं भक्तिरुत्तमा
अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यम्
अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यं
ज्ञानकर्मादि अनावृतम्
ज्ञानकर्मादि अनावृतम्
अनुकूलेन कृष्णानु
अनुकूलेन कृष्णानु
शीलं भक्तिरुत्तमा
शीलनं भक्तिरुत्तमा
अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यम्
अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यं
ज्ञानकर्मादि अनावृतम्
ज्ञानकर्मादि अनावृतम्
अनुकूलेन कृष्णानु
अनुकूलेन कृष्णानु
शीलनं भक्तिरुत्तमा.
शीलनं भक्तिरुत्तमा
Anybody wants to try? अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यम् ज्ञानकर्मादि अनावृतम् अनुकूलेन कृष्णानु शीलनं भक्तिरुत्तमा. Anybody else? अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यम् ज्ञानकर्मादि अनावृतम् अनुकूलेन कृष्णानु शीलनं भक्तिरुत्तमा. Mataji, is anybody? अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यम् ज्ञानकर्मादि अनावृतम् अनुकूलेन कृष्णानु शीलनं भक्तिरुत्तमा. So we'll do translation. We will do word by word first. Please repeat after me. Anya abhilashita shunyam, without desires other than those for the service of Lord Krishna, or without material desires such as those for meat eating, illicit sex, gambling, and addiction to intoxicants. Jnana, by the knowledge of the philosophy of the monist Mayavadis. Karma, by fruitive activities. Adi, by artificially practicing detachment. By the mechanical practice of yoga. By studying the Sankhya philosophy. And so on. Anavritam, not covered. Anukulena, favorable. Krishna Anushilanam, cultivation of service in relationship to Krishna. Bhakti Uttama, first class devotional service. So translation by Srila Prabhupada. When first class devotional service develops, one must be devoid of all material desires. Knowledge obtained by monastic philosophy and fruitive action, the devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires. So everything is given in this verse, right? And then Acharyas have given nice explanation also of this verse. So what we'll go detail. Each and every word of this verse is important. Because this is the definition of the whole thing what we are doing or we are trying to do. Right? So first, see, there are primary characteristics of bhakti and there are secondary characteristics of bhakti. Like any other thing, right? If you see out there are so many things. Let's take an example so that we are clear. If you take an example of car, right? There are primary characteristics of car and then there are secondary characteristics. So what are the primary characteristics? Car should be comfortably taking you from one point to other point, right? Point A to point B. So that is the primary lakshan of car or Swarup lakshan, what we call in Sanskrit, the car. And what is the additional or what is the marginal Lakshana is then whatever, the speed, sorry, goods carrying, then whatever the cars has, all these jazzy things, and what leather music system, leather seats, all these are secondary, right? Sorry, all these are secondary. Give me 1 minute. So like that, for bhakti also we have a primary characteristics and then we have secondary characteristics. So primary characteristics are the Anukulena Krishnanu Sheelanam. So line number 3 and 4 are the primary characteristics of bhakti. And then there is a secondary characteristics, that is line number 1 and 2. So these are important characteristics. Secondary is basically it's like a spice or a salt in our, which will increase the taste of the preparation. Okay? So which is first and second line, which is Anya Bhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavrita. So we'll first try to go deep in the primary characteristics. So which is currently we have 3 main. Anukulena Krishnanu Sheelanam. So these are the 3 different words. So we'll dissect. Everybody knows what is dissection. We'll cut each and every word. We'll try to understand the meaning of that word. Sometimes we may think why we have to do, but to go and understand in detail, we would need to do this. As well as it is very nicely and precisely defined by Rupa Goswami. So we will see how intelligent, how precise he was. Right? So 3 words, Anukulena, Krishnanu and Sheelanam. So Krishnanu Sheelam is Krishna Anusheelanam. There are 2 words there. Right? Because of rhymes or meter they call, the Krishna Anu is joined together. But in reality is Krishna is separate word and then Anusheelanam is the other word. So Anusheelanam is again divided into 2 words. Right? What are those? Anu and Sheelanam, correct. So Anu, many times we heard this, right? Anu. Especially just now I used, right? Rupa Anuga. So Anuga, what is Anuga? Followers, following behind. Right? That has Anu and Ga. So Anu has actually multiple meanings. Anu has actually following and then going behind. Anu also has you are doing continuously or repeating, right? Because we are actually repeating the teachings, right? We are trying to follow the teachings. So Anu's meaning is continuously doing specific thing. What is Sheelanam? So Sheelanam comes from the word Sheela, the root, what they call in Sanskrit, right? Root word, main word, Sheela. There are many meanings of Sheela. Sheela means to serve, Sheela means to practice, Sheela means to meditate. Right? So all these indicate what? All these indicate activity. So Sheelanam is related to activity. So you are acting continuously. Yeah? Sorry? No, that Sheela is different. Yeah, this is Sheelanam. That Sheela is Sheela, the stone. The chest of Hiranyakashipu was like a stone and he easily opened it. That is different. So now, what it relates? It relates to activity. Right? So what activities we are doing? Right? Most of outside people they say, oh, you just chant. You are just chanting and dancing. You are not doing any activities. Even the chanting itself is an activity. Right? Anybody disagree? Why? Why it is activity? Because our mind we need to concentrate. We need to hear the word. Right? It's not easy. If you ask somebody go and sit under the tree and chant, it's not possible. Right? So that is also activity. It is not like, oh, it's not activity, it's what do you call, just you sit and do nothing. It is not like that. Right? Everybody agree? So that is also activity. Now, so we know what is Sheelanam. So activity can be, what kind of activities? Activity can be through your body, right? So what are the activities we do through body? In fact, everything we are doing, because we are learning, right? Everything, most of the things we are doing through body. We come in the temple or temple room, we pay obeisances. You use your body to pay obeisances. You go for cooking, we do set up, wrap up, we do book distribution. Everything you are doing through your body. Okay? Then, what else you can use for activities? Your mind, right? So how you serve through your mind? We plan, right? We think about Krishna. We want to see how we can serve Krishna, right? So what is another thing we can use for service? Voice, right? Verbal activities. Voice is also very powerful. We may think it is not, but through voice, lot of things can happen. Ask politicians, he will tell you. Right? In fact, I remember when I was reading about this and hearing about this, that I remember when I was in school, I read about world wars. And, the analysis they did for World War II is why Hitler could do what he did is just because of his speech. Because he was so powerful speaker that people actually got mesmerized, people got hypnotized, and they followed whatever he said. That made sense to them. And same thing happened in the opposition, right? Churchill. How Churchill motivated everybody? Through his powerful speeches. So speech can do so many things, right? So what are the things we can do in activities? Activity with body, activity with your mind, activity with your words or verbal activities, right? Okay, so Sheelanam means you are doing activities, right? So what kind of activities? There are two kinds of activities we can do, right? One is positive activities and then negative activities. If you go to doctor, what happens? Doctor tells you, right? Any prescription he tells you, okay, take this medicine, but these are do's. You eat this, raw vegetable, you eat salad, you don't eat this, right? And then he says don't. So he says don't eat fried things, don't eat sugar, right? Don't eat sweet things. So there are do's and don'ts. So in activities also there are do's and don'ts. So what we do? We will do what are do's in activities. So which are positive to Krishna consciousness. And what we do with the negative activities? Avoid. So don't do it. Sorry. Correct. Avoid them. Go away from them. Try to avoid them. So Sheelanam is activity through your body, mind and words, right? And doing positive activities and avoiding negative activities. Now if you mix both this, Anusheelanam means what? Correct. Constantly you are doing activities through your mind, your body and your words. Right? So Anusheelanam is clear. Now next question comes, right? You are doing activities for whom you are doing. So now there is another word, Krishna. Krishna Anusheelanam. Right? But many times we do Tulsi Puja. It is not Krishna's activity or service. We go to Dham, right? We serve Dham or we serve cows. This is not Krishna. So where is the problem? But we are just concentrating currently on Krishna Anusheelanam. So what Krishna means, what Prabhupada has explained, Krishna means not only Krishna. Krishna is never alone. He is with everything with him. So whatever is connected with him is what Krishna is, the meaning of Krishna. Otherwise, Rupa Goswami somewhere else has mentioned that we should serve spiritual master. Then these two things will not come in same place, right? Then he is contradicting himself. If he is telling, oh, do only Krishna, and then again he is telling somewhere, no, you have to serve spiritual master also. So Krishna, the meaning of Krishna, Prabhupada has mentioned, Krishna means everything related, connected to Krishna. So what is it? Krishna himself Krishna's all incarnations, Krishna's all associates, Krishna's paraphernalia, Krishna's devotees, pure devotees, right? Everything comes in picture. Everybody agree? So what is Krishna Anushilanam? Right. So constantly doing the activities through your mind, body and your words. Right? Through body you are continuously serving, you are doing devotional service. Through mind, what you are doing? You are continuously thinking about Krishna. Right? That is the Krishna Anushilanam. Right? Now I will ask some questions to clarify few things. Right? What about Kamsa and Shishupal? Were they pure devotees? They were continuously thinking about Krishna. Isn't? Negative. That is correct. So what happened in the case of Shishupal and Kansa? They were thinking continuously. So as per this Krishna Anushilanam, they should be called as a devotee. Right? And that's the reason the third word comes. What is that? Everybody got that, right? Anukulena. So what is Anukulena means? Favorably. So what exactly that means? Favorably means to please Krishna, right? To desire to please Krishna. Favorably means everybody okay with that? Right? Now let's take another example. I'll ask the question again, right? If pleasing Krishna is bhakti, by doing our service, if pleasing Krishna is our bhakti, what about Hiranyakashipu? He also pleased Krishna, because what happened when fighting with Hiranyakashipu or Hiranyaksha, his brother, that time Krishna had ecstasy fighting with them. He liked fighting with, he was happy doing that, strong fighting. Do you guys know? Right. See, there are different rasas in dealings, right? So one of the rasa is a Veera rasa, right? Shivarli or Shivarli, what we call it. Those are actually, that is a sub or what do you call Uparasa. There are 7 Uparasa and there are 5 main rasas. Do everybody knows about 5 main rasas? Right? What are 5 main rasas? Yeah, that's correct. First is Shanta. Shanta means you don't do anything but you are serving like a sofa. Right? Sofa is not interacting with us, but it is serving because we sit on that. Then Dasya ras, then Sakhya ras, Vatsalya ras, and then Madhurya. And then there are 7 supporting rasas. And Shivarli is one of them. So what it does, basically it increases the rasa between that relationship. It increases the primary rasa. So this Shivarli or Veera rasa is what Krishna was enjoying when he was fighting with them. Right? So how it happened? Right? Even everybody knows how Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, the episode happened. Right? 4 Kumaras, and then they didn't allow that. But if you go in detail, you will see how it is possible that 4 Kumaras got so much, anger or angry, that much angry on them, and how the pure devotees of Krishna, who are a doorkeeper of Krishna, actually didn't allow Kumaras. Right? Actually, it was Krishna's desire only. In their heart, Paramatma, actually, he instructed them to do that. Because what happens, Krishna wants to fight. It's like same like us, right? We also many times fight. Many of us, that has that tendency of fighting. But our fighting is different. Our fighting is more destructive. But Krishna is complete. So his fighting is actually gives him pleasure. If we fight, there is no pleasure. Right? So if he wants to fight, because why we have that fighting tendency also? Because it is in original. Whatever we have, everything is originally available in Krishna. Right? So when he wants to fight, what he will do? Because in Goloka, everybody is devotee. Who will fight with him? In Vaikuntha, everybody is serving in awe and reverence. Nobody comes to fight with him. So to do that, then he has to come here. He has to send. Whom he will send? He will send his devotees only. So he sends his devotees here. Then he comes here and fights with them. Right? And he enjoys that fighting. It's like Kshatriya. Kshatriya is like, they like, right? If you see Kshatriya, they like to fight. If you see in Mahabharata or even in Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, we were discussing about that. To increase that, because everybody is playing role there, right? He will not be fully doing. That's the pleasure of Lord. Because with karmic balance, you will not reach to that point that Lord will come and kill. Right? So, yeah. So, what point I wanted to say that there also Krishna was pleased, and what we said just few minutes back, we said that favorable is pleasing Krishna. So, is Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, even Ravan also. In case of Ravan, fighting with Ravan, Ram was also had that, what a fight. Like that feeling was, Ram was having that feeling. So following them will be devotional service? No? Okay, the answer is right, but why? But first, my question is not that whether we can follow, but should we follow? But they are pleasing Krishna. Okay, point. Right. But if, yeah. But our definition is favorable to Krishna. We are not talking about others. Right? The question is, why can't we term Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu as devotees and follow them? Why they are not Mahajanas? Mahajanas is the topmost devotees. Why they are not Mahajanas? No, nobody follows. There is nobody does all five. Never. Yeah, but they have secondary, right? Which supports the primary. Secondary is not separate. Secondary supports this five primary. Surely is in 7. All. It can come. No, but he supports, right? What I said, 5 rasas, and it's not like 1-to-1 relation. It can increase the rasas in any of these. Yeah, there are 2 ways to see this, right? One is either the definition is not correct or our understanding is not correct, right? No. Yeah. So, yes, you are closer, Mataji. That is correct. So, there is very important point. Mataji is close. Very important point. There is a difference between we want to please Krishna and we are pleasing Krishna. Okay? Did you understand the difference? We want to please Krishna is not same as we are pleasing Krishna. Right? Say for example, these all Danavas, demons, they pleased Krishna, but they didn't wanted to please Krishna. Right? So, favorably is want to please Krishna. Got it? Any questions? So, now let's see other side, right? So, if we want to please Krishna, if Krishna is pleased, then it is bhakti. Then other side is if Krishna is displeased, then it is not bhakti. Right? Do we agree? Krishna is displeased. He is not happy. He is very displeased. Then it is not bhakti. Right? Do you agree? Right? Now, yes or no? Now in confusion, huh? I am asking a lot of questions. I am confusing all of you. But important it is because that will clarify a lot of things. Okay? So let's take an example. Right? Yashoda Mai's example. When she was feeding Krishna, when she immediately saw that milk is spoiling there, milk is boiling up, coming out, wasting, she puts him down, she runs to check the milk. Krishna here becomes very angry. He thinks insulted. He feels that, yo, she is not caring about me. I have not filled my stomach yet. I am not satisfied. And she just kept and ran away from. He becomes very angry. So what he does? He breaks all the pots, eats from there, messes up everything and goes. Right? He is not pleased with Yashoda. Take an example of gopis. Many times gopis had troubled Krishna. They used to ask him dance, do this, do that. They used to tease him. Right? Krishna wasn't pleased. Gopas also, his friends used to taunt him a lot. Right? Recently I heard Madhumangals, right? Madhumangal, you know, right? Krishna's, he likes a lot of things to eat, right? So after Kaliya episode, then he tells Krishna, when they fight on something, then Krishna said, everybody thinks that you are very powerful, you have killed the Kaliya, you have done nothing. Actually Kaliya was about to kill you, then I started my mantras, all those mantras actually impacted Kaliya, and then Kaliya left you, and then you danced on top of him, but everything happened because of me, you didn't do anything. They say to Krishna, they taunt Krishna, they actually do a lot of things. So, if it is not pleasing Krishna, then it is not bhakti, right? How it is then? It is still bhakti. Why? No, because I wanted to tell, they want to. That is the important point, right? They want to please Krishna. Take example of Yashoda Mai. What she wanted to do, she actually found the best cows. Nanda Maharaj was having 900,000 cows, 9 lakh cows. From that, she actually used to select very precisely, very best cows. She used to feed them best grass. Then she used to take that milk. Why? Because she wants to feed Krishna the best makhan, the best sweets. So she is so intensely want to serve Krishna that she is putting Krishna down and going and running to check the milk. So intensely she wants to serve Krishna. Even in fact, Parikshit Maharaj asked in Srimad Bhagavatam to Sukadeva Goswami that what Yashoda Mai and Nanda Maharaj has done so much, right, that they got this big benefit. What pious activities, what austerities they have done to get Krishna in their house. Because they were they wanted to intensely serve Krishna. So she wanted to please Krishna. Wanted to please, but in that she displeased him. But she wanted to please. So what is important? Favorably is correct. So what is Anukolena Krishna Anushilanam? He at that time he was, because if you see Damodar Leela also, he was scared of his mother. Can you believe that Krishna is scared of his mother or anybody? But that time, yeah, correct, because that rasa he was enjoying. Yeah, but he was displeased, and then that rasa of displeased. Yeah, it is. That is what I'm. But this, what we are saying by definition is please Krishna. So here he displeased. Yeah, he is enjoying that displeasure also, but still was displeased. No, yeah, he was, because he is also a person. He was also a person. So to see, right? So if you see, no, just even if we keep Yogamaya aside for a minute, right? If you really want to have that rasa, then you have to go in that mood, right? Yeah, because that pleasing is not what we are talking about. Yeah, the pleasing, because we have yes and no, right? He is enjoying crying also. It's like that. Yeah, it's an example. Right? So what is the definition then? Complete definition of Anukulena Krishna Sheelanam. What is the complete definition of that? Want to live. Yeah. Yeah. Want, no, want is important, right? So intensely, continuously, right? Anu, continuously doing the activities through your body, mind, words to want to please Krishna. So that is what is the primary definition of this. So we'll do secondary. We'll do this salt and spices next week. Okay. Okay. So any questions? I may need one more lecture. I think next week we should be able to finish. Yes. Yeah, yeah, the previous one. Previous one he was. Yeah, yeah, that is correct. But our definition is you are pleasing Krishna. Right? So you want to please to Krishna. That is the main aim you have. Right? And if Krishna's pure devotee is there, then pleasing him also is same as pleasing to Krishna. Right? So any questions? Yes.
And like these personalities that they wanted to give this pleasure, but then only for something that I don't want to give pleasure or pleasure.
Right. So we have to tell them this definition. What is real bhakti? We have to tell them this is devotion, not what they are trying to do with devotion. Yeah, there are many. That is the best thing about Krishna, right? He is giving the free will to everybody to do whatever you want, to go away also, to reject Krishna also he is giving. The demons, they're different. They are different. One is demons who wants to basically always. No, they do, right? Hiranyakashipu openly said, nobody take Vishnu's name. Openly, he was openly wants to fight with Vishnu. Yes, Maharaj. No, I didn't understand. So you're trying to tell that that is their own desire. Yes. Yeah, but he was, because not everybody has the same role, right? These were specially sent. They came from Goloka specially to play this role, so that they will give Krishna a part in this particular episode. But there are many that who are not like that. They just have a lot of envy. They just have, they think they are the controllers, and they want to just reject Krishna. They want to reject devotees. They want to blaspheme devotees. Yeah. So difference is demonic is you're directly attacking. Yeah, hatred part is not there. Only thing is you are not opposing directly. Here, because of ignorance, also they may be doing this because of their passion. No, no, he wanted to break everything. Hiranyaksha, you're talking about Hiranyaksha, right? So he takes the whole earth and hides it because he wanted to control the demigods. He knows who are demigods. So he wanted to. No, the ignorance, what I mentioned was a little different, right? It is, yeah, it is basically to uh, don't know about that there is a Krishna and there is what we have to do. Is different than that he don't want to oppose. Yes. The inclination was like that, but then Krishna is also Krishna is person, right? So he wanted to check them also what they will do.
Yeah, but Krishna wanted to fight with them. But they choices they want to come back.
So
They really have a choice or not.
choice was presented. Yeah, choice was present. Yeah, they could have. That is what Krishna. Krishna. For us also, there are so many cases there that we tell Krishna, tell us, but then Krishna gives us so many options. No, Paramatma is always telling. In your heart, in my heart, Paramatma is always telling. We have to be demons. Think. Or Jai Vijay. Okay. So, I think we wanted to. Everybody sees Ajay Govind Prabhu, Kisida Mataji Utkurush. So we are very happy. They're back. So we welcome them. Hari Bol. Then had nice yatra. Yeah, Dham Yatra. They came, as I mentioned that time also, they came in the right time. Janmashtami. It was very, very pleasing to everybody. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Then we welcome my brother-in-law also. He is from Singapore. He used to join an online. Yeah, online. Now he is actually live. He's seeing the live match here. So he will be with us in 2 weeks. So any announcements you have? Oh, before that, Prabhu, sorry. Yeah, but before that, I wanted to mention on Saturday, 8th September, please mark your calendar. We will be having a home program here this Saturday Morning. Morning is about 11 o'clock we will start. I'll send an email also. So we'll have some yagya and home program here Saturday. So 2 Saturdays from now. Please come. We humbly request everybody. If you have some other plans, please shift those plans and come. Again, we wanted to invite devotees. We may do some program for Prempada also. Yeah. Please, everybody, come. Then Prabhuji wants to.
Have a program tomorrow morning. Tomorrow we will have the program for Sunday. And there was another email in September 15th. There will be a Japa workshop. There is more details about this.
It's very important practice. I think everybody should try to attend if you can. Please do that because he is amazing, Mahatma Prabhu. He was instrumental to create this Japa workshop initially. And even if you go to YouTube and try to find out, amazing. He has a practical things. Yes. So we are very fortunate that the temple could able to arrange his workshop. No, it will be in Tobacco, right? Tobacco it is, right? Yeah, I think it will be in Tobacco. Yeah, they were trying to find some third place where everybody can concentrate completely rather than having some distraction. Because these are like very important topics where you want everybody's concentration. So that's the reason there is some arrangement going. But if it is not, then it will be in Tobacco.
On the long weekend, with 12 hours later and
He said he will send an email to me, so I will forward that email. But if anybody needs the information, let me know. You can find it more faster.
October 13th.
16, yeah, 16. Saturday. 16 was last year.
October 13th, 14th is the day. So if you plan to go,
No, plan it and go. That is what we are planning to go. We decide to go next weekend, long weekend, because my in-laws are there. Ashok is also